With the kickoff of the general elections a matter of weeks from now, politicians are putting finishing touches to their strategies, crisscrossing the length and breadth of towns, cities, and the remotest of villages, canvassing for votes of the electorate. One peculiar feature of the strategies and electioneering processes is the use of support groups by political parties as foot soldiers before, during, and after elections. Now, what roles do the support groups play in an election? How do they affect the electioneering processes? That will form the basis of our discussion on this episode of Nigeria Today. Welcome on board. I am Charles Ibe. With me on this episode of Nigeria Today to discuss the issues of the support groups in an electioneering process and their roles in the elections, especially 2019 general elections, I have with me Ilesomi Andrew. He's the president of the PDP Legacy Support Group, LSG. Mr. Andrew, you're welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
So how is the elections going gradually, as in currently?
Okay, so far so good. It's been fair. When I mean fair is that with the era of PDP now, if you go back, the first thing is when we came on board, we decided to tell the whole world we are sorry. We made mistakes and we're ready to retrace our steps, so we are sorry. The apology we rendered was a blast, and we highly welcome. That is why today, if you see the name PDP became a song on everybody's lips. Today, everybody is singing PDP. Before the election, everybody is singing PDP, PDP, and PDP. Why? Because there's a better alternative to what is on ground right now.
A better alternative to what is on ground right now.
Exactly.
That means a better opposition.
Yes, you can say opposition because right now we're at the corner whereby we don't have a choice but to see ourselves as an opposition who is coming to go back to where we were before so that they can be our opposition.
Now, before we go to the specifics,
Okay.
do you really think PDP has really played the role of opposition in all matter of context? This is the fourth year of this current administration,
Yes.
the fourth year of PDP as an opposition party after 16 years of office. Do you think they really your party really gave this current administration the run for their money in terms of checkmating their moves and all of that?
If you look at it, we are fighting them to a standstill. There are two types of dog. There's a barking dog, and there's a dog that hum. I don't know if you understand me. So we are giving them a run for their money. They are afraid. They are jail-trained. Our coming back on board makes them to be scared that what do we do? How do we curb these people? We are giving them in every corner they go to. Before they get there, we are already there. We give them run for their money. That is the reason why they think they can box us in a corner, but they are not succeeding while we are succeeding.
Well, before now,
Yes.
before the electioneering started, the PDP was actually on a low, and majority of the stakeholders in PDP were having to deal with issues being raised by the incumbent government, as in the government of the day, bordering on corruption. A lot of PDP members were being charged for corruption, and a lot of things were going on. And it was as if there was no opposition, so to speak. But it's a good thing to know that now we are still, the steam is coming up right now. Now, how has it affected the party going into an election with many of the key players of the big wigs of PDP being under one form of scrutiny or the other, and then with a lot of defections that we keep seeing every day?
First of all, let me accept one thing. We are opposition now. That is the fact. We are in the opposition now. Now, if you look at it, who is making the other party? We make the other party. Everyone in our party today, they are wooing them to come to their own party. Trying to say, okay, look, it's like a stick and a carrot thing. I dangle the carrot, but I'm holding the stick. because this is what you have, because they are the one in power right now. We are not. So we are playing the role of the opposition. While we are playing that role, we are still working on the ground. We started it. We know the game. We are good players. They came in with anger, hatred, and the rest. That's why you see, before you know it, they go to so XYZ, open a file, and say, if you don't play our own way, this is what we are going to do to you. If you don't do this, this is what we are going to do to you. And why that works for them is because they are in power.
Okay, but is it not instructive that there are files to be opened? A lot of people in PDP have skeletons that need to be aired.
Show me one man that doesn't have a skeleton in his cupboard, and I will show you a saint. Just show me one man in their party that doesn't have a skeleton in his kitty, and I'll show you, I'll tell you where to meet a saint today. If you want to, I don't want us to name names, but if we have to name names, we have to name names. But because they felt like they will use our own forces against us so that they can get what they want from us. That's why I said we are the masters of the game. We build the game. It's our game. We are teaching them, but they want to use our own strategies against us.
No, it's a privilege to have someone from the inside of the opposition. I think from every look of it, you are a grounded PDP member.
Yes.
Now, we've been seeing issues of when the heat is on, then you know who the people that have the substance. Now, we've seen big wigs defect from PDP on the heat of one allegation or the other. They defect to take shelter somewhere else. Now, how has that really, what has that done to the PDP in terms of rebrand? You said when you came up, the Iliads, you said you people are apologized, you are reformed, and all of that. And then we are still seeing some of those reformed people still doing some crossover, 9-minute crossovers, which I wouldn't know how you explain all of that.
Very soon the season is here. Excuse me. The season is here. You will know the difference between an umbrella and a broom. For how long will you hold the broom? But you can hold the umbrella for as long as you can hold it. So that's why I see when you see people crossing or defecting, those are weak people, but they will come back. They're like whipping child. We'll tell them, okay, come home. We will take you back.
Well, is it not after the damage has been done? Because these people have followers, and politics is a game of numbers. The more, the merrier.
Yeah, the more the merrier. If you look at the people you say that they have followers, quite all right, they have followers.
And they always defect.
They always defect. In politics, you should expect everything. In politics, it is who gets what, when, and how. But then they say it's supposed to be something that like benefit. But most politicians today who defect is what they want to get, when they want to get, and how they want to get it. That's why I see some of our bigwigs who we really, really trust, cross-carpeting from where they started from into the other side. But if you check their history, they've said so many damaging things about the opposition when they were in the mainstream. They said so many things about the opposition, but today they are singing like a hummingbird. Because why? They are looking for shelter. But for how long can the broom hold them? The umbrella is where you have shelter. It shades you from rain and it shades you from the sun. You can always have it. But right now they are looking back because their shadows are chasing them.
So would you say in a way it's good riddance to bad rubbish?
Well, I don't want to use that language. But I know with time, you will see those that left will find their way home.
All right, thank you very much. Now let's go down to specifics, your support group, legacy support group,
Yes.
PDP legacy support group. What, in essence, is the role of the support group?
Well, the support group are the backbone of every politics or politician or political group. Without the support group, no politician, no political group can survive because we are the engine room. We are the one who tells people what you need to stand to gain in this particular, like in PDP today, our support group. We have gone from grass, Ruth, door, talking. There's nothing, maybe there's still things we need to do, but I think we have done a lot that will take us back to power. what do? We befriend you. We deorientate you. We now reorientate you by telling you that this is what you need. This is what you need to. This is what you stand to gain when you come back home, when you vote for us. We don't need to woo you with money. If I want to convince you today, come over. I don't need to woo you with money. I give you reason. Look at what PDP has been able to achieve for 16 years. Of course, those that were aggrieved will go back to the other side and say, they did this, they were corrupt, they did this for 16 years, they messed. But today, look at our name, legacy. We are riding on what PDP has done. The legacies of PDP is what we are riding on today in the whole country. Do you want to talk about the agriculture? Do you want to talk about the rail sector, the road? Most people who defected, they were with us. They defected into the other, but we are still building, consolidating day in, day out to making sure that we bring back the good old days. Of course, we want to remember the good old days. You cannot tell me today that you are not being affected with what is going on today. They are the opposition. They are just privileged right now to be where they are. So we'll still tell them very soon, a matter of months from now, they will go back to where they are. They are the barking dogs. We are the dogs who don't make noise, but will make impact.
During the 2015 general election, run up to the 2015 general election, there was a peculiar event that I was privileged to cover then, issues with support groups. There was an issue with PDP support groups then, in terms of integrity, in terms of funds, something to do with funds not being released on time, or people being shortchanged and all of that. And in a way, take it or leave it, it must have affected the chances of PDP then during that election. Because there were talks about protest votes and all of that, support groups not really mobilized and all of that. People at the end of the day, they had to do protest votes, and at the end of the day, PDP now found themselves in the opposition. Now, this is another chance, this is another opportunity, and luckily you are in a support group. What has really changed over time?
If you look at the support group where we belong to, a lot of people put money first. The passion we have is not about money. We funded our own group. We are not waiting until we are being mobilized before we do something. We have cut across the whole country. We have traveled. I have traveled as the leader of this group. So many people felt Atiku is a money bag. Atiku will be dishing out. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to give before you get. What have you given? We are giving. If it comes, fine. We'll be very, very grateful. If it doesn't come, we want to change this government. A better one. That is what we are looking at. Because when this government is no longer there, we can have a rest of mind. You can't just sit down and be doing propaganda, telling people lies. When you hear their lies, it's baffling, but be it as it may, we want to remove them. Wait for the old man. We'll escort him straight back to where he comes from.
All right, I've been talking with Mr. Andrew Ilesomi. He's the leader of PDP Legacy Support Group. We'll take a quick break now, and the program continues when we come back. Please don't go away.
Hello?
Is that Danger?
And Danger they talk, who be this?
Your boss. You don't recognize my voice?
Recognize your voice, but I will see your voice, they put money from my account. I beg, Chief Disu, now you be that? Baba, no verse now. You don't say your voice don't step up, as you said don't step up now, your voice don't change. I not to say I don't get this your number again. What's happen?
Forget the voice that changed or the unknown number. I have a job for you.
A job?
Yes, I'll send all the details to you this night. And I don't want what happened the last time to repeat itself.
Abba, sure you remember say we lost Killer for the last outing?
Yes, and so?
And so it means say the walls don't crack with that. So we're going to need new person to fill in for the strategic operation.
What are you saying, Danger? You are talking too much. I don't have time for this.
Okay. You know that's your son, the one with the America where they study for Harvard. No say I seen did that place, he get sense where. Now we gonna need make him fill in the new position of killer.
My son.
No, my father.
My only son. You must be crazy. You are out of your mind.
But I believe I say you're crazy. It isn't even know that how this thing they go. It's not even know. You forget say we too we get families, Abi. Every election you go call me Danger, organize your boys, I get operation, I get outing, I get job for you. We go do the thing for you. If you say we don't know what thing they happen, Abi, you forget say I get MSc, Baba. From now on, if you won't call me for work, you go call me for work where they NNPC, OPIC, share. That can't work now, I go do now. All those work that don't reserve for our pikin, now we go they call them for. You hear me so? Hello, Chief Disu. I bet you get red button for your phone. Or your presser. Oloshi.
The reports where they reach us talk say some
You don't do. I don't tire for all the things where you dey yarn.
people blood don dey rise.
You dey yarn or pata? Shey you think say na only you fit buga? I go show you.
This matter don pass be careful.
You dey show yourself all these years, I just dey look you. This time, you go know the kind person where
I been dey watch as you dey try scatter my future.
The feature wey I dey try
Organize for myself.
small. Na him you dey try kill abi?
na to kill, scatter, and destroy my purpose always dey your agenda, abi? Oh, but you know fit oh, not this time.
I don't set my own agenda.
I know how way your agenda go fit pass my agenda.
Because my agenda strong pass your agenda.
For this election, the agenda now,
It's our future.
No violence.
just vote.
Set the agenda for this election. No violence, just vote.
Have been talking with me, Mr. Ilesomi Andrew, who is of the PDP Legacy Support Group. Now, Mr. Andrew, PDP as a political party, going to be slugging it out with other parties, 70-something or thereabout, come February and onwards to March. What are the chances of the PDP going into this battle?
Well, we are battle ready. One of the things we are doing is to take the fight to the enemy's gate. We never wait for the enemy to come. We are not defending, we are attacking and we are rooting them out. They are defending. That's what we are doing. We are rooting to them. We went to their camp and we're just taking over. That is why if you look at the other time we're talking about defection, if you look at defection, we have more people defecting to our side more than they defect to their own side. I don't want to talk about them because they are more or less like a distraction to me. So I don't want to mention them name. I will just be referring to them as them. I think the closest thing I've ever said about them was the broom. Because they are just, it's either it's PDP, there's just one party. The others are just like a house fellowship or the rest. They just come in pockets of places and they want to be around. So that's why they are the whipping child or the whipping baby. So the chances of we getting there is very bright. We are out of the wood already. We are out of the tunnel. The light is very bright. It's a shining day. That is why come May 29, you will see us. We will come here. You will congratulate us.
All right, support groups, yours is one of them. I believe you are going to be part of the election monitoring groups
Yes.
that will be accredited for the elections.
Yes.
And now there is this talk of vote buying, rigging, and all sorts that fears that's going to be happening during 2019 general elections. The INEC has said they are prepared to make sure none of those happens. How is your group, as a support group, as PDP support group, across board, not just about presidential, wherever it is, how are you working to ensure that none of that happens, that any vote that belongs to PDP gets counted at the end of the day?
First, let me quickly tell you that we are all over Nigeria and we're in the diaspora. The people in the diaspora are not coming to vote. They are supporting. Now, how do we ensure that votes are not being taken, snatched, or by? Who will protect these votes? It was a nice thing that INEC said there will be no camera phone, there will be nothing, but it's going to be an open thing, that everybody will see it. We are not going to allow it. It's not a do or die thing, but we have put mercenaries in place, which I wouldn't want to say. We have put it in all over Nigeria, in every polling unit, that once the vote is for PDP, we might not be there when you are casting it, but at least when it will be counted, it will be counted. That this is what we realize in this polling unit. And we will have our own record and we'll send our own signal. So that in case if there's going to be a disparity, it might not be that much. Where will you even see the money to buy somebody's vote? We don't need to buy votes. We need to tell you before that day, vote for us. It's the umbrella, go for it. You know the beauty of umbrella, I don't need to tell you. You can use it for a walking stick, you can use it for fashion, you can use it for everything. So we don't need to buy people's vote before they vote for us. And you know the Arrow man, people loved him. He's a very charismatic person, Atiku Abubakar. If you meet him, you will love him. He's a very charismatic person, and all other person. Like I said, we're not just voting for Atiku Abubakar alone. We're voting for everyone who is under PDP as a flag bearer. From the councillor, from the ward to the councillor, to the man at the top. Because we'll all celebrate when the time comes.
Now, after all said and done, the key person in all of these processes is the electorate, the person that's going to go at the end of the day to cast his vote, which will be counted. From your encounters with in the fields, in terms of your advocacy and all of that, do you really think Nigerian electorates are enlightened enough? Because you mentioned something about not needing money for people to vote for you and all of that. Your support group is not all about money and all of that. And then before now, Nigerians have been, there is stomach infrastructure and there's this thing of what do you get for doing this. And Nigerians above all of that right now, are you certain that money is not going to play any role in 2019 general elections?
Is it to the support group or to the people?
The people right now.
If you
from your interaction, from your experience with them, are they really up to that level of, okay, I'm just going to vote for my conscience or my candidate?
Not long ago, we took a statistics about how Nigeria feels, what is going on today. Everyone is crying. Why is everyone crying? You cannot just, one of our good leaders said, you don't close your shop to chase a thief. Today, everywhere is blocked. But we are, you know Nigeria, how we are resilient people. We gave him a ticket for 4 years. 4 years is close by. People are complaining. But the first thing we did was to go and deorientate people. Then we started reorientating them. This is what you need to do this. In the next coming 4 years, the story is going to change. And it will change for better. Why are people crying? Because the thing is not going right. Does it mean everybody is corrupt? It doesn't mean everybody is corrupt. Let it go. Free the whole thing. Let it be in circulation. You keep saying corruption, corruption, corruption. Who is not corrupt? I will show you who is a saint. So we are not all corrupt. You have integrity as a journalist. You have integrity. One thing I respect about your job is that you are a timekeeper. Anywhere you see a journalist, they say journalist sits 9:45. You see journalists there at 9:40, but the main anchor of the program is not even there. Why? Because, do you call that corruption? But journalists will tell me to be a corruption because you asked me to come at XYZ time. You that invited me, you are not even there. So this era of saying money, 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 no. Where is the money? The man at the arrowhead, which is His Excellency Atiku Abubakar, is already a money bag. So how many people will he have to give money to? We are giving him our service so that in return, our children and our children's children will at least coast home happiness.
So you are categorically saying that Nigerians are ready to vote?
We are not just ready, we are tired. We are ready to go to the poll. We are ready to vote. We are ready to defend our votes. We are ready to count. We are ready to know the results. and we're ready for it to be announced.
Now, one of the recent concerns raised was the issue of voter apathy. People are they will rig it, because we've seen what happened in Osun, we've seen what happened in Ekiti, we've seen how it happened in different elections in the recent past. People are like, why waste my time? Are you telling me that now people are hungry, people are not, that we are not going to experience voter apathy come 2019 election? From your experience in contact with people on the grassroots.
From my experience with people, when you tell someone now, I'll give you 4,000, 10,000, so that you can vote for me, do you know what they tell you? I don't need it. I can make that money, and I will make that money. So what they do today is that they don't want that money that will enslave them for the next 4 years. Why should you give me 10,000 naira to buy me for 4 years when I can make that, when I will? There's a difference between can and make. You understand? When I will make such money when the time comes, when there will be inflow and it will be cut around all over. So why will I want to now just get that 4,000 naira and that will just be it? It doesn't work that way anymore. That's why I told you we advocated, we went for advocacy, we deorientate people, and we start an orientation to make us to know that you don't need to get their money. Get voted. One thing we did again was to make sure everybody gets a voter's card. That is your power, and that is what will take us to the next level.
All right, finally, the umpire, Independent National Electoral Commission. I believe you must have been closely monitoring developments before now, and now we are almost towards the elections. Are you satisfied that INEC, currently as constituted, and with all their promises after all said and done, that they are going to deliver free, fair, and credible elections come 2019?
Well, what I want to say I agree with INEC is because the man there has a name to protect. So he's left with no choice but to deliver a credible, free, and fair results of the election. Because if he doesn't, his name will go after him. That is just it. He cannot afford to soil his name. That is why, if you, like yesterday now, what happened in INEC, I was there to make sure that, okay, the facilities are on ground. This is truly what they say is on ground. When the European Union came, I was there just to make sure, okay, I follow them to the letter. I can't be everywhere. I also delegate people to go where I cannot reach. So, but I am very sure that Mahmoud will deliver.
And you're satisfied with all the modalities set on ground, that the processes will be error-free. There will no chance for any. In fact, that the courts are not going to be busy after the elections.
I might not be able to score Professor Mahmoud 100, but at least I can give him 98, which I think is fair. Which I think is fair enough. He cannot be everywhere. He also will delegate people to do the job. So, but I might not be able to say 100%, no, it's wrong. It will get to his head if I give him 100. But let me say like 98, he has put everything in place to make sure that this is a hitch-free, or this is going to be a hitch-free election, where everybody might not be satisfied, but at least most people will say yes. This election is one of the best elections ever conducted in Nigeria.
And the candidates across board, they conducted themselves currently? Are you satisfied with the conduct of the candidates across board?
I don't know which candidates you're talking about, but our candidates are home and dry. Our own candidates in PDP, they are home and they are dry. Whatever comes, we'll take it, but we know the best will come for us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I have been talking with Mr. Andrew Ilesomi, the leader of PDP Legacy Support Groups, who is of the opinion, yes, the Nigerian electorates are ready for 2019 general elections. He is giving the assurance that from his own angle, his party is ready for the elections, and the processes of 2019 general elections is going to be free, fair, and credible. Now it is up to you, Nigerians. Please go and collect your voter card. INEC has announced it is ready. They are distributing it. The distribution will be on till February the 6th, 2019. Ensure you collect your voter's card, and please, on election day, do the needful. Go out there, vote your conscience, no violence, no thuggery. 2019 general elections will be peaceful and Nigeria will move on to greater heights. Thank you very much for watching Television Nigerian. See you again.